So what we've tried to do is really just focus on what is the world in which these things happen. And the most important part of it is that it's a blasted world. It's a world that's been damaged deeply. The opera begins right after Phoebus Apollo's son has taken his chariot, and he's decided that he can drive the sun for that day, and of course he can't control the horses, so it gets too close to the earth, scorches the earth. Mythologically, that's how the deserts were created. So Jupiter, to prevent the Earth from being completely turned into a desert, sends a thunderbolt, kills him, but of course that thunderbolt also causes a certain amount of damage. So the opera begins right after that has happened, and Jupiter has come down to this blasted section of Earth to try to heal it, to try to do his job, which is to help nature, regrow itself. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of control over his libido, so he sees Callisto and doesn't really get around to healing the Earth the way that he intended to, short of a few things that he does purely to impress Callisto and try to get her into bed. So that's really the world that we're in. We're in this blasted world that gradually over time begins to show some regrowth, some little bits of flowers growing and a stream. But even there, we've tried to really make it as theatrical as possible. It's all about the ideas and the thoughts, which I think is the most fascinating part of the piece, is the philosophy of it and the cosmology of it. The definitions of comedy, tragedy, romance, all of these things, I think, have changed a lot over time. For me, I would most closely align it with the idea of a romance, a Shakespearean romance, something like A Winter's Tale, where you're looking at elements of, deep emotion and deep pathos, but there are, comic bits and more serious bits. Really, nobody has a happy ending in the piece, so I think it's difficult to call it a comedy in that sense, certainly in the, traditional sense of people getting married. I guess you could say it ends with a wedding in a sense, but it's much deeper than that. And while there's a lot of comedy, I would probably call it a romance, meaning comic and tragic or dramatic elements interwoven throughout. There are a lot of very enjoyable parts of the opera to stage, and it's especially wonderful for Hannah, who sings Diana, and also Jove pretending to be Diana. So it's the same singer who's singing a completely different character of Jove in the body of Diana, but then also has to pretend to be Diana to seduce Callisto. So really, she gets to play three different roles, and we're just beginning that process of examining the other singer, seeing what are the things that he does that you can do to make it clear to the audience, when you are him, when you are yourself. So there are a lot of fun things to stage, very enjoyable things to stage, and in many ways, it's the style of the music is very moment to moment. It's almost, I would say, 75% of it is like a play set to music. It's very immediate, and then the other 25% is beautiful traditional aria or duet or ensemble, where time stops a little bit and people express their feelings, talk about, God, I love her, God, I want to sleep with her, whatever.